Hi everybody! Today we will learn about bind and arrow function on ReactJS. In the previous video, we learned about JavaScript binding that becomes the foundation for this video topic. I really suggest that you watch the previous video first, so you'll understand the basic of the bind method, and you'll never confuse anymore when and why we should use the bind method. And now, we will learn how to use the bind method into a class. And if we understand how bind and arrow function works on a class, we can also implement it on ReactJS. Just for a review, we made two product objects that have a name and a price property in the previous video. Then, we used the getInfo function to display its name and price with a bind method. This time, we will turn it into a class, so we will know the difference. Because we're making a class, we can use product instead of using product A or product B as a name. Now, let's give it a constructor to declare its name and price. Then, we also give the getInfo function to display the product name and price on the console. After we have a product class, we can use it to declare product A and product B. Let's show the result on the log. And it's working well. Like the previous video, we'll try to use setTimeout to make a pause before displaying product information. Remember? The first parameter is the callback, and the second parameter is the time delay. I'm sure that you already knew the result, but just to make sure, we'll see what we get. Yeah, as predicted, it's undefined. Congrats if you already knew the result. We also knew how to solve this problem using the bind method, aren't we? So, let's just use it like before. And it works again. But, in the object-oriented programming, the solution looks bad and not tidy. Imagine if we must use the bind method like this every time we want to call the getInfo function. It's really ineffective and confusing, right? Sometimes we just forget to apply the bind method to it. Then, what is a better way of using bind inside a class? Remember, bind is a function that binds an object, and the behavior of the bind method is returning a new function with an object that has been binded. So, what we can do is redeclare getInfo function using bind method inside the class constructor. Right now, we can bind to these, or the instances that were made using a product class, like product A and product B. With this, we are already released from our duty to use the bind method outside the class. And also, we won't even need to remember to use the bind method again. What do you think? The code has become more clean and cool, right? But there's a way that's even cleaner and cooler than this, which is using the arrow function. How to use it? We can just create a variable with value of a function without a name. Use the arrow. Then we can continue like any common function. Arrow function makes the declared function already binded with the object that declares it. So, it can be used as a substitute of the bind method, and it looks more tidy. Now, the result will always be like we want if we try to run it like usual, even with setTimeout and button click. In your current state, I'm sure you already understand how to use the bind method and arrow function the right way, and also implement it to ReactJS component by yourself. Still, to make it clear, I'll give an example on how to implement it on the ReactJS component. First, let's install ReactJS using npm. If you can't run this command, then you should install create React app dependency first to the npm global. It's easy. Just type npm install create React app -- global. Now, direct to React folder on our terminal and run our React app. As you can see, it's working perfectly. Let's open the main source, which is app.js, and change this app from a functional component into a component. We will make it really simple. It only has one button. Even though we're not discussing about web design right now, it's still too ugly, right? Let's modify it a bit. Give a padding so it looks better in the eye. That's all. We will follow the previous class. We made a name, a price, and also a getInfo function. Let's make that if the button click, then it will run the getInfo function. Save the modified code and look at the result. Cannot read property name of undefined. Please pause the video and think about this. As far as you've learned till now, how to make it work well? What's the cause of the undefined error? It's better if you try to make the React app just like this one and try to solve this problem by yourself. And if you're done, you can continue this video, okay? Let's pause. How? Do you know how to make it work? Congrats for you who already knew how to fix it. First solution. Just like our bind method, we can use it inside onClick and then bind the function to this. That means this app component. Second solution is to redeclare getInfo function using bind with app component as the argument. The third solution, or the best solution in my opinion, is using the arrow function. With this, I'm sure you'd understand why and when to use the bind method, and also how to use the arrow function. I hope this video is useful for you guys. If you like, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and push the notification button. See ya!